What's up, Breast Gang? It's your girl B, and I am finally back with another video. And this is basically like a story time slash talk with me slash update. It's about where have I been, what have I been going through, why have you been so distant, why have you not been on YouTube, why have you not been consistent with videos, what's going on, Valerie. And in this video I'm going to explain it all. But before I get into this video, I need you guys to do me a favor. If you haven't already, I need you guys to hit the subscribe button for me, turn on your post notification bell so you guys can know when I drop another video, and hit the like button for me if you like the video. Excuse my dog, because that's Bella in the background doing the most. So that's why I keep looking to the dog. Bella don't listen. She's so bad. If y'all have any type of training tips for dogs, please leave them down in the comments, because this is just ridiculous at this point. I need her trained. Like, she really don't listen. She is really bad. Like, it's beyond me. But anyway, you might see her walking in the background. There she go. Just bad. I'm gonna do a video to introduce Bella to y'all. But this video is not about Bella. This video is about Valerie. So, I just wanted to talk to y'all about different topics that I feel like everybody go through in life. I want to talk about friendships, broken friendships to be exact, relationships, broken relationships, how to deal with somebody who's constantly cheating, lying, and anxiety and depression, dealing with your mental state, dealing with everything that's in your mind, everything that's in your head, caused by everything that's going on around you. And I'm going to start from the beginning because this is my story. So basically, my depression and anxiety started a long time ago. I just didn't know it at the time. Started in high school. I wasn't bullied in high school because I fought a lot. Like, you know, like, if you try to bully me, I was gonna fight you. Like, if you told me something, I was just gonna fight you. I hated high school. In 10th grade, well, in my 9th grade year, I didn't go to the same school when I was in the 10th grade. So in my 9th grade year, basically, I was hanging out with a girl who, come to find out, she was doing inappropriate things with the guys in the school. And I still was her friend. Like, you know, I didn't not hang out with her no more because of the things that she was doing. Well, at first I didn't. But as I started to hang out with her, still hang out with her, they just like burst together, flock together. So ever since that time, I always had a name that was not true. It wasn't anything that I was doing. I didn't, my parents were too strict for me to even have a boyfriend, for me to even hug a boy. I wasn't allowed to do anything, go nowhere, no parties, no anything like that. It wasn't no such thing as sneaking out. It was no such thing as things like that. I went to my senior homecoming, and I went to my senior homecoming, I went to my senior prom. And I did everything my senior year, but I wasn't a part of no sports and things like that. Like, you know, that was a no-no. So it was just like, I basically got a name for myself because of the girl who I was hanging out with. And she lied to me about it. Like, she was like, no, I didn't do this. But then a picture went around of her doing it. And that's when I just was like, you know, like, no. I stopped being friends with her, which I feel like was wrong of me. Like, I should have never did that to her. But she lied to me, and I just was like, well, what was you lying for? Like, if you did it, you did it. But I guess she didn't know they had the picture. So I kind of felt bad afterwards. But after that, like, basically my name was tarnished. Like, so I changed schools. That's not for that reason. My sister just wanted to go to another school, and my mom wanted us together, and it was closer to home. So she put us in the school that I graduated from. And in that year, you know, everybody from New Orleans knew each other. So the name just traveled. And one day, the deans at the school had like a uh, uh um a, a talk with all the women in the auditorium. Like it was like a speech, but it was about hygiene. Like, you know, there was one to talk to all the females about hygiene because, you know, the girls wasn't taking care of themselves, I'm guessing. So, and I remember like this was like it was yesterday, but it was during lunchtime. It was right before lunch, and I came out the lunchroom and it was no guys in the auditorium, no dudes. So they just was guessing what they was talking about. And so I finally asked somebody, like, you know, I'm like, well, what they think that they well, somebody asked me what was they talking about. I'm like, she was just talking about like personal hygiene, how people need to take care of themselves. She was like, no, well, we heard that they were talking about girls doing things in the bathrooms with boys and guys, and that it was me. And so ever since that day, nobody didn't like me. Nobody didn't want to date me, and that's all I ever wanted. Like, you know how they have the cute boyfriends. Bella, get out my window. She is really bad. Bella. She's just disgusting. But anyway, ever since that day, I hated high school. And one of the girls didn't like me in high school because she thought I was talking to her boyfriend. And, you know, that was all her friends. So my whole 10th grade class didn't like me. And then, so ever since that day, I just fought. You know, if you didn't like me, I fought you. I just was going off. I always had a mouth on me. Everybody always know me for screaming in the hallways, which is really bad. After that, you know, high school was really bad. So that's really where all my anxiety issues and depression issues started. Like, I would go home and cry, and I would be like, well, nobody wants to be my friend, things like that. And mom was like, you don't need no friends. We're your friends, things like that. But that's not true. Teenagers and people, they need friends. They need something that's outside of mommy and daddy and sisters, because it's nice to have somebody else that's your age that you could talk to and hang out with. And a lot of people have that. Like, if you have a best friend from your childhood, or you have somebody who you went to parties. And I see a bunch of my schoolmates who was friends back then and still friends now, and that was always something that I wanted, but I never had that. All my friendships was broken up due to something, due to, I don't know. I always felt like it was me. But then I started to realize, after telling the story about what happened, I always just reacted bad to things that was done to me. And people just always blame me for having a bad reaction, because I will blow it up out of proportion. But it would be some disrespect going on. It would be something that's, you know, out of the line. And so I just never tolerated it. I just wanted to, okay, whatever. Like, you know, we could fight. It's just how I made myself since high school. So every friendship that I had was tarnished. Then, boom, I'm 18. I finally get in my first relationship. And that was horrible. It was terrible. I was so depressed. I was so mentally unstable. That boy lied and lied and lied and cheated and cheated and lied and lied and lied. And so I was really low at that point. When I was 18, 2017 was just a horrible year. But then the next year came. I forced my heart on somebody else just to get over that person that I loved. And then I ended up not, like, I was the one that was not in love. Like, he was in love with me, but I wasn't in love with him. And I just don't know how to break somebody's heart. But I started to see it's so easy for people to break minds. But I couldn't bring myself to break up with him until eventually I finally did. I finally did, but he didn't want to let go. And if you guys haven't watched my story time when my ex-boyfriend tried to kill me, that's the one that I'm talking about. You should guys go check that out. I'm gonna put that in the description box below. But okay, I'm gonna try to hurry this up. But so after that relationship, I took a break. I took a break from relationships. I took a break from boyfriends. And I started to talk to people. And they had this one guy that I met. And he was so sweet. He was like a best friend almost, but we was kind of like dating. So, that's nowadays, we don't put a name on it. We just be doing stuff. So he was like my best friend. We talked about everything. And then I found out that he had a whole girlfriend that he was living with in a whole different state. And everything about him was a lie. Everything was about him was a lie. I eventually found out. Like, it just was unbelievable. So I said, forget it. And now, boom, we're doing quarantine time. We're here in 2020, in March, when I started my YouTube. During that time, the depression and anxiety really got bad. It really got bad. I was so depressed, so angry all the time. So just hurt, so just confused on why I don't have no friends. Why doesn't none of my relationship works? I started to have insecurities about myself. I thought something was wrong with me. I thought I was fat. I got braces because I felt like I needed to close my gap. All the braces would make me prettier. I cut off all my hair. Started over. But at the time, and I already said I wasn't gonna cry, but it's take 100, and I ain't starting over. But at the time, I didn't know what anxiety was. I didn't know what depression was. Well, I knew what it was, the definition of it, but I didn't know what it felt like. I didn't know that this was what I was dealing with. I didn't know that I had a problem. I didn't know. But during the quarantine time, being confined in that house, and I was still living at home, and I love my parents, and they loved me, and they raised me the best that they could, but they was like really strict. And even being an adult, I was 21. Well, I was making 21 in May of 2020, and I still couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do nothing. They had to ask permission and things like that. Like, it was just, they were so unbelievably strict. And so none of my friendships would really work out because they would ask me, oh, well, Valerie, you could go come to the party with me and things like that. And it's just like I would have to make up a lie because I was too embarrassed to tell them that I can't come because I'm 20 years old and my parents won't let me out the house. And that's why all of my relationships, I felt like all my relationships failed was because I was always giving somebody to run around. Like, I was talking to them, but they never could see me. I always made an excuse to, what I was doing because I wasn't allowed to go outside. So I blame my parents at that point. I blamed them. I said it was their fault that I didn't have any friends, that I couldn't be loved the way I wanted to be loved. So I left home. And I got close with this one girl in particular. Well, two girls in particular. The summer before I met these girls, and my best friend, she was the one of the girls, she became my best friend, and I was so close to her. I was so grateful for her. Like, she took me in and she helped me eat, she helped me get clothes. I didn't have nothing. Like, she gave me a place to stay, She was so sweet. She was so nice, but she had problems too. And if you're moving out, I don't recommend any female to move in with another female, especially if you have aggressive nature or you have low tolerance for a lot of things, because especially your friends, because living with somebody, you really start to understand them. Like, it starts to become like your sisters. Like, your sisters and your brothers get on your nerve, and your mama get on your nerve. But this person is a stranger. Like, you're not my sister. So it's just like the fact that you're getting on my nerve, I shouldn't have to tolerate that. But we became cool, and everything was cool in the beginning. But as time went on, she just became way more controlling, and I feel like she felt like I owed her my everything, which that's how I felt at the time. I felt like I owed her everything, and I feel like that's why I'm not going to say nothing to her. I'm not going to, like, I'm just going to take what she's saying. This her house, and that's just how my mama raised me. So it's just like, it's her house, it's her rules, whatever the case is. So I just shut up for a lot, and I really let her punk me. Like, she really was, but she didn't. I'm not gonna say that's what she meant to do. That's just the type of person she is. And that's how she talks to her boyfriends. That's how she talks to her mama. That's how she talks. When she don't get her way, she's a brat. But that was my closest thing to like a best friend ever. Like, she was a bounce artist. So we just had a lot of fun together. We went out. She listened to me. She helped me like during a lot. But then it became a point where I started to like get on my feet a little bit. And I found me a job. I started to help with the bills. Started to do a little more. And I don't want to get into the details of that friendship because that's a whole different story. But I feel like once people see that you're starting to get from under like their control or their grab, like, I started to have my own life at a certain point, because every time before that we was going to do a video shoot for her, or we was going to do something for her. Like, we was waking up in the morning and we was had to get this ready, had to go to the mall. She had a show, she had this, she had that, like, and she took care of me, like, like, she helped me. Like, if I didn't have it, she did it, and she was a good person. But she was a real big bully. Like, she's big-headed, and she's a real bully. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna say I'm sweet and innocent, but I'm the type of person, I take a lot. I take a lot. And so I started to get to a point where I started to have my own life. I got into a relationship. I started to, and once you get into a serious relationship, it's not that you don't have time for friends, but it's just like, okay, we could go together, like, we could go out together, but we can't do it every night, or we can't do it every weekend. Like, like, I can't go with you everywhere. Like, I can't wake up and come with you this place. And then I had a job now, so it was like I had to go to work. I can't run errands with you. I can't come to all your shows. Like, I can't do all of them things with you, even though I wanted to, like, and I tried to do it when I could. But I had a relationship. I started to get my own life. I was waking up every morning and I didn't have a purpose to where I was going or what I was doing. I was so lost. I was so just wanted a friend so bad. I just accepted everything. So eventually that friendship ended because she just talked bad to you. She just talked down on you. When if you made a simple mistake, she blew up about it, and it started to be more like a mama than a friendship. Like you're not my mama. But she didn't see it like that, and then like she just held everything she did against me. So after that, I got into a relationship. And we know how a relationship go. He cheat. And ever since that, me losing the friend, my best friend, and me losing my trust for my boyfriend, it caused me to go downhill. Because then that's the point in my life where I started to find out so much different things. I started to find out that my family had family secrets. I started to find out that people wasn't really, loyal. I started to see people true colors. And by my mom and them shielding me for a long time, a lot of people learned this earlier, but I just had learned it hard, like the hard way. And I just began to just be depressed all the time. I moved into my first apartment in December of 2020. And I had a good job. I started to work, Then I lost that job. Me and my boyfriend at the time was just constantly getting into it because by me having such bad anxiety problems and depression problems, it would cause my mind to just sit up there and think and create things that was not there. So I became obsessive. I became nagging. I always felt like he was doing something. I always felt like I was being lied to. But he was taking a lick for everything everybody was doing because I was living with him. So the months went by and I just got into a deeper hole. Things just started to go on and things just got worse and worse. I lost another friend. And then I had nobody after that. I felt like I didn't have anybody. I was too embarrassed to tell my mama what was going on with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to tell this to your mama. I didn't want to tell my sisters because they was going to tell my mama. I was ashamed. I didn't want them to be ashamed of me. And then on top of all this, I had a social media problem. I felt I always needed to go on social media and post what I was going through. And I had to post what was going on, and I had to go live, and I had to tell, my side, because I just always felt like people misjudged me. Like, I always felt like people just, never knew who I really was. And it just was like people would say a lot of different things. But when you're dealing with depression, when you're dealing with anxiety, that's really a mental thing. It's something that takes a toll over your mind. And you feel like you don't have nobody. And so social media made it worse, because social media made me want to be something I'm not. It wasn't necessarily clout chasing, but I wanted to be liked. I wanted people to like me because I wanted a friend. I wanted people to go out with. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to find a good job. But I kept just making the wrong choices, the wrong decisions. I still do, I still do. And everything is a work in process. But during the months, I just got deeper and deeper and deeper into this hole. And I feel like nobody wasn't hearing me. I felt like nobody was there for me. And it was like they was there, but they wasn't listening. They wasn't understanding. And my problem was I just don't know how to be alone. I don't know how to be by myself. Well, till up until this point now, where you just been through so much, you don't want to attach yourself to anybody. You don't want to go there with nobody because you can't trust nobody. But I started to dig myself into a deeper and deeper hole. And then one day, I took a bunch of pills to go to sleep. Because I didn't want to be here no more. I got tired of getting on social media and crying for help. Nobody wasn't listening to me. So I feel like when you see them girls and they going through a breakup or they going through a heartbreak and they get on social media and they crying, people need to stop making fun of people like that. Stop it. You shouldn't make fun of people like that. Because maybe they doing that because they don't have nobody to call and do that to. So they trying to get help. They trying to get somebody to listen to them. And that's all I wanted for a long time. So I took a bunch of pills. And I just wanted to go to sleep. So my mother-in-law called me. And she told me to get up. She was outside. You know, after I took all the pills, I told her what I took. I was so tired. And she was like, get up. So I went outside. And I got in the car and she drove to her house. And she gave me some milk. She was the only person who listened to me. Because I didn't want to die. I just felt like I didn't have nobody. I felt like nobody would miss me. I feel like everybody would be better off without me. And then they put me in the ambulance. I was so mad with them. She called my sister. My sister called my mama. And then they admitted me into a psych ward. Well, once the doctors examined me and learned that I tried to overdose, they're going to send you to a psych ward to make sure that, you know, you're not harm to yourself or others. And before I went there, I was so mad with them. I feel like they still wasn't listening. I was so angry with my mother, you know, because she called them. But then I got to that place. It's called Seaside. And if I ever get healed, like, I'm really going to, like, put into places like that, because I went in there. I was so scared. I thought it was a place for the crazy people. But it was. It was, but after that, I got to know the people. I started to laugh. These people was all different ages. You used to have to go to group, and we used to listen to, you know, other people's stories. And the counselors and the therapists there, they really listen to you. They really listen. All of the nurses are so nice. all of the texts was so nice, all of the patients was so nice, and I started to laugh again. I started to smile again in a psych ward. I was in a psych ward. I was so, I missed home because you can't have your phone. I was in there for almost 7 days, 6, 7 days. You couldn't have your phone. You couldn't go home. So I didn't want to be there because, I wanted to go home. I didn't want to be in there. It was like a hospital. Well, it was a hospital. So it was like, But it was so good for me because that's where I learned. When Miss Johnny, we had group, and she set us all down, and she gave us a paper, and it had anxiety on it. And before, the doctors kept asking me, from 1 to 10, how's your anxiety? And I didn't know I was having anxiety, so I was just like 1. Like, I'm not having no anxiety. From 1 to 10, how's your depression? Like, I knew what depression was, so I would tell them. And they gave me something for my depression. I didn't know what anxiety was. And so I was sitting in the group, and then I read the paper, and it explained to me. It explained everything I felt. It explained the knots in my stomach. It said the nervousness. It said it just explained everything. Like, if you feel anxiety, if you feel it in your stomach, if you have bad anxiety issues, then you know that it's really a bad feeling, and it's like you can't help yourself. And I didn't know what that feeling was until I sat in that group and Miss Johnny gave me the paper. And if Miss Johnny ever sees this, a big shout out to Miss Johnny. I love her so much. But I really had a relationship with all them people. Just 6 days. I was happy, They was treating me for my anxiety. And not every psych ward is like that. I heard, because I haven't been. But that one was a good one. Like, that one was one that really helped me. But I had to come home. And once I got home, I still felt lost. Still felt angry. I felt better. I was able to work on my anger. I was able to start working on my issues because they gave you medicine for it. But it still was a problem. And so now I'm sitting here making this video, still alone, still by myself. But as much as I'm crying, I'm okay with it. Like, I had to look myself in the mirror, and I had to tell myself, you are beautiful. You deserve more. You deserve better. You deserve loyalty. You deserve all of those things, because I do. And you just have to actually mean it. So this is the video for all of the beautiful women that's going through so many anxiety and depression problems. Whatever your story is, because I know my story not the worst. I know there's people out here going through far worse. But I just wanted to tell the people that is, like, it's okay to go talk to somebody. Go try an outreach group, or go try to find some type of treatment to help you, because it really works. Like, it really helps you. And I'm still a work in progress. Like, it's still the beginning of it for me. But I just feel like I had to get up and start somewhere. And I feel like I had to just tell my story and tell my truth in order for me to be the person that I want to be. I just had to let all of this out. And I just have to start putting myself first. And just start taking care of all my responsibilities. Because at the end of the day, I do have people that love me. I have my mom and I have my sisters. And I have my daddy. I have family. And I have myself. But I didn't love myself for a long time. I thought I was fat. I thought I was ugly. I thought something was wrong with me. But I had to realize I'm only gonna be what I think of myself. So if I think I ain't shit, I ain't gonna be shit. And so I had to get up and I had to stop crying and I had to stop feeling sorry for myself. And I just had to get up and do something about it. And so I'm making this video. And it's not for attention. Because I know a lot of people who get on social media and they say, if you sit there and you record yourself crying, you need to kill yourself. Or I would never record myself crying. But a lot of those females or women who's recording themselves crying and posting it on social media, they're hurt. They're really, really hurt. And they really, really want somebody to talk to. And they really want somebody to love them. And they're probably really in a bad relationship. And I just feel like guys don't get it. I feel like guys take a lot from females and don't realize how selfish that is. To make a female get so attached to you and then you just bail. Or you just constantly hurt them. And then you blame them for the way they react. You blame them because they react badly or over the top because you was disloyal or you was lying. I just feel like that's just not right. And I feel like when women see other women getting on social media and saying those things, it's your job to reach out because maybe you could save that person's life because you don't know what that person going through. Stop trying to say she just want attention. Yeah, she do want attention. She wants somebody to show her attention. She want to be loved. She want to feel accepted. Like, people is only human. It's just a lot. And people really have mental issues. And you don't never know what somebody's going through, like, behind closed doors. So you shouldn't judge them for what they put on social media. And I know some people get on that, but you know when somebody's trolling, like, you know when somebody's clout chasing, you know, you can see that. Like, it's clear as day. But if someone is actually hurt or like trying to express that they want to do harm to themselves, that's probably them asking for help. Some of them do it for attention, but y'all fail to realize that that'll still drive somebody to cut their wrist. Like, that'll still drive somebody to, I hope y'all don't hear that, but that'll still drive somebody to take a bunch of pills. Lack of attention that y'all feel like is so unnecessary. Everybody can't be cold and just suck it up. So if there any woman that feel how I feel or felt, you can DM me. You can comment down below. You can, reach out to somebody. Because I don't want anybody to feel like how I felt for a very long time. And I'm not completely over it. I'm not completely out of the dark, but I'm in a much better place now because I understand what's going on, and I understand what I need to do to fix it and to help myself. So I'm okay. I don't want to I don't want to hurt myself anymore. I don't think that I'm ugly anymore. I don't have the same insecure problems anymore. But all of that takes time. Like, if you're getting over a heartbreak, a lost friendship, because people realize friendships hurt worse. Because we go far when we get into it with friends. But just check on that friend that's always checking on you. Check on that friend that always is calling and talking to you. Like, check on that person, because when that person decides that they want to take their own life, then everybody want to like feel guilty, and you want to be really sad, and you want to cry, and you want to put them on a shirt, and you want to celebrate them, and you want to hold them down. But when a person's here, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? So I know this video was something different, and I'm going to be back. I'm going to be trying to drop videos weekly. I hope you guys don't hear that in the background. But I'm going to try to start back posting my videos and start back on the right track. But I just wanted to start with this video. I wanted this video to be the first one I put out. And it's just to get it off my chest and to help someone who could possibly be going through the same situation. Probably different things that we're going through, but basically same thing. So if you that person, I just want to tell you that they do have help out here. They do have some people you could talk to. You can always DM me. I check all my DMs. You know, I probably can't respond quickly, and I probably don't see them all, but you know, I would try my best to respond to anybody who's feeling low or feeling stuck or feeling like they want to cause harm to themselves or feeling lack of love, lack of friendships. Because those things seem simple, but they're really important on top of everything else that people go through in this world. But I love you guys. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button for me. Turn on your post notification bell and hit the thumbs up if you like this video. If you have any questions for me and things like that, you can comment them down below, and I will make sure to respond to everybody. And I hope nobody takes this the wrong way, and I don't know how, but this wasn't to insult anybody or to be rude or to, you know, whatever. It just wasn't. It's just my story that I wanted to share with y'all, and I wanted to take y'all on this journey with me as I dig myself out this hole, as I get better. I just want, you know, to create my own friendships, a YouTube friendship, or wherever this road take me. Hopefully it take me far. But I'm gonna try to come back with videos after this one. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I didn't make you cry. But I'm gone, and I'll see you guys later.